Hello once again, my fellow Star Trek fans. I'd like to welcome you to another video. And this video is going to feature this lovely lady right here. We're working on the fan home, build a U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701-D. And we're just about done. We've only got 6 issues left. But we're going to be focusing on the Playmates U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701-D. Now, what makes that one special is that that's the first one that ended up having voice sound effects. So let's go check it out where there's more room and there's more light, and we'll check out the U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701-D. Okay, let's check this out. Again, what makes this one special is this is the Space Talk series. And it may not seem like a big deal now, but when it came out, this was the first one that actually had sound effects of the voices. The first talking Starship Enterprise. You can see some of the things that it says: entering neutral zone, all decks, battle stations, firing photon torpedoes, engaging warp drive, and tractor beam secured. This is over 100 computer commands and actual sound effects from the TV show. Here are the actual sounds of the interstellar traveler with the Space Talk Starship U.S.S. Enterprise, and this is stock number 6106. And this is collector's edition number 033814. Over 100 randomly selected computer commands and actual sound effects from the TV show. Starfleet Deluxe display stand included, and the technical blueprints. And don't forget, the last time we saw the Enterprise was the first release, and I had shown you that one, and that one did not come with a stand. So now they actually released a stand with the Starship. So looking at the sides of the box, you can see they got a picture of the finished model, and the same thing of what was on the front. And this is from Star Trek The Next Generation, stock number 6106. And it's just about the same on all the sides and ends of the box, because most of the information is going to be on the back. So just about all the sides are the same. So when we look at the back of the box, you can see we got the finished model, and you can see the base that it's going to be on. First talking Starship Enterprise, and we're going to take a look. You can see some of the sections. We've got the main shuttle bay, that's shuttle bay 1. We have the phaser array on top of the primary hull. We got the saucer impulse engines. We got 10 forward at the front. The saucer module, the bridge and B and C decks, and the main bridge. The computer command activation button. You can see the buttons. We got the battle section in the back, and we have the warp engine nacelles. And you can see the Starfleet Deluxe display stand. I like the gold and the silver. Display the Space Talk Starship Enterprise on a deluxe stand. And you can see the other things to collect from Playmates. And we have the top, you can see where the buttons are. Press the computer command activation button here, the 100 randomly selected sounds of intergalactic space travel from the hit TV show from Star Trek The Next Generation. So they also have the little bit of information. Starfleet Command Computer Communications Report access granted. The U.S.S. Enterprise is equipped with a state-of-the-art voice activation and verbal relaying system, controlled by a main computer core by means of an optical data network. This system provides quick and efficient Starship operations. Dubbed an instinctive computer interface, the operating system works with all verbal-based life forms, and therefore is extremely adaptable. During emergency situation or hostile encounters, the voice activation gives the main bridge priority and suspends all unnecessary processing. The captain and crew were able to verbally interact with the ship's computer with highly effective and ingenious results. In turn, the ship is able to talk to the crew via computer-generated voice. This dramatically reduces reaction time, critical moments such as ship-to-ship conflicts with damage assessment, and reports Starfleet out. And again, this is stock number 6106, and this is from 1995. So let's go ahead and we're going to take the contents out of the box. And we have that cardboard tray. You can see the base. So let's get her out of the cardboard tray. So a lot like the other one. Okay, so we got all the pieces out. So let's take out the part of the stand the ship's going to rest on. And we'll take out the base. Again, I like the writing, because they don't write on these very often. Let's put the plastic aside and I'll show you guys how to put the base, with the arm into the base. Really simple. You just slide it in like this and you push it forward. I'll show you guys how to do it for the camera. Yeah, okay, there. And it slides into place and that little piece comes up and locks it in. To remove it, you just push that down and it'll slide back out. So that's easy, setting up the base. So let's check out the ship. And you might notice that the ship has almost a like a bluish hue to it. It definitely looks different in color than the first release. So let's take out the nacelles. So you can see it doesn't matter which side the nacelles go on, because you can see the contacts on both sides. So we just take the ship, and you can see how the grooves are going to fit right in. We put it into place. These go a little harder to get in than the other one. So again, you can see the grooves. You can see they clip into place. And again, I hope you can see how it has like a bluish hue as opposed to the gray on the other one. Okay, so that looks good. So you know what? I think I'm going to show you the instructions first before we put it on the stand. So let's check all the stuff, all the paperwork out. We got the decals or the stickers. You can also see the bottom of the ship's hull. In the event that we don't want to use is the base, it just kind of slips forward and snaps into place. So I'll show you guys in a minute what we're going to do. Okay, so let's check out some of this stuff first. You can see the stickers, because these are peel and stick. And there are a few on here that I didn't use. You can see I didn't put the phaser arrays on. You can see these are going to go on the bottoms of the nacelles. I think I started to put all the stickers on and I was like, well, you know, I think I want to kind of preserve it, but that was my mentality anyway when I got it back in '95. I'd anxiously await each new release from Playmates. You can see the buttons where they're not using the other buttons like on the first release, and there's only one now, right behind Shuttle Bay 1. Okay, let's get back to the paperwork. So now we want to take a look at the blueprints. And I don't remember if it's the same as what was in the original or not. No, this is different. Okay, good. And again, let's move the light a little bit. So we have the computer system. So you can see the port computer core, starboard computer core, and the engineering computer core. Subfield surge, the subspace. We've got the computer core. The port and the starboard computer cores are linked together so that if one fails, the other can take over. The engineering computer core acts as a third backup and can be used in the battle section in event of the source of separation. Optical data network, connector, close-up, the junctions. Let's see what the computer core actually looks like. You can see the modules. The isolinear optical chips have a capacity of 2.15 kiloquads of memory. The main computer system aboard the U.S.S. Enterprise is comprised of three main computer cores, one located in the engineering hull and the other two in the primary hull. Each computer core is kept in a subspace symmetrical non-propulsive field. This allows the core elements to process information faster than the speed of light. The cores are divided into 7 levels. Each level contains an average of 4 modules. Each module is lined up with a series of FTL, or faster than light, nanoprocessors, which are made up of clusters of isolinear optical chips. And this is 1995. So this is pretty cool. You guys wondered what the computer core's makeup was on the Enterprise. Okay, so those are the blueprints, and last thing we got to check out are the instructions. So this is Star Trek, the Space Talk series. To attach the Space Talk Enterprise to its base, slide the display stand arm into the display base as shown in diagram B and snap it into place. Remove the battery compartment cover underneath the battery section of the Enterprise, see diagram C, and slip the Enterprise onto the display arm as indicated. To replace the battery, slide open the battery compartment cover located underneath the battle section of the Enterprise, see diagram C. Replace the batteries with 3 new AA alkaline batteries. Replace the battery cover. To attach the warp engine nacelles, snap the warp engine nacelles onto the warp nacelle pylons at the rear of the Enterprise, see diagram A. The Bussard hydrogen collector on each nacelle should be pointed toward this section in the front of the ship, the saucer section. To activate the sounds of over 100 computer commands and actual sound effects, press the computer command activation button to hear 100 randomly selected sounds of the intergalactic space travel from the hit TV show. You never know what computer command you will hear next. Note that although rare, you may at times hear the same sound repeated back to back. And then you can see attaching the stickers. Attach labels 1 through 24 as shown in the diagrams. So we've got the top and we've got the bottom. And this is Playmates 1995. So, fantastic. What we can do now is we can go ahead and get 3 of the batteries ready. I like the Duracells myself. And we're going to put it on the stand. So again, this wasn't on the ship when we got it. It was in the bag, but you just pull it down. Basically, it's that easy. So we'll put that to the side. And you can see the positive on the bottom. Battery is going to be facing forward. And then the next one, it'll be the negative facing forward. And lastly, we've got the positive facing forward on the last one. So they're all snapped into place. Now we're ready to put the ship on the stand, and we're going to do the same thing, only now this is the one that's going to be attached to the arm. We're going to put it just like this and slide it, and you're going to hear the click. just like that. And just like that, she's ready to go. So we're all set to activate. So we're going to push the only button on the ship.
Firing phasers. Engaging impulse drive. Photon torpedoes sailing. Shields secure. Enemy weapon systems failing. Warning, enemy vessel engaging tractor beam. Engaging impulse drive. Photon torpedoes failing. Warning, enemy firing photon torpedoes. All decks red alert. Engaging warp drive. Warning. Enemy vessel weapon systems failing. Engaging enemy weapon systems failing. Impulse drive failing. Enemy vessel engaging tractor beam. Enemy vessel photon torpedoes failing. Impulse drive failing. Warning, shields failing. Enemy vessel light systems secure. Warning, enemies entering neutral zone. Enemy weapon systems secure. Enemy vessel shields failing. Engaging tractor beam. No shields. Enemy vessel alert. Enemy vessel alert.
We just heard a repeat.
Enemy vessel weapon systems failing. Engaging tractor beam. Warning. Enemy engaging warp drive. Warning, enemy engaging tractor beam. Warning, enemy vessel engaging tractor beam. Enemy alert. Enemy engaging warp drive. Enemy vessel alert. Enemy vessel photon torpedoes failing. Shields secure. Shields secure. Firing phasers. Enemy weapon systems secure. Enemy engaging warp drive. Entering neutral zone. No shields. Firing photon torpedoes. Impulse drive failing. Enemy weapon systems secure. Enemy vessel entering neutral zone. Warning, enemy vessel engaging tractor beam. Enemy vessel photon torpedoes failing. Vessel engaging warp drive. No shields. Warning, enemy vessel engaging tractor beam.
Okay, so a couple of things you may or may not notice. There are differences between this one and the original release. The one I told you already, she has like a bluish hue to her. But another thing you may or may not have noticed is that this one does not light up at all.
Photon torpedoes failing. Enemy vessel alert. Warning, phasers failing. Warning.
So this is basically, although it is electronic, because it does have a sound chip and it does 100 voice commands, it does not light up. Another thing you may notice is this is not Majel Barrett, and that's not the voice of the Enterprise, it's just a female voice.
Vessel firing photon torpedoes.
So, I was still happy to get it back in '95 because it's the Enterprise, and Star Trek The Next Generation was ruling the TVs, and I had gotten, I think I had just gotten the Deep Space Nine, I don't remember. And then the next one in line to see the Enterprise again, I was pretty happy. But this one is unique, is that this is the one that came with a stand first. The previous release of the Enterprise D did not have a stand, and it was more grayish in color. And I don't know if you guys are going to be able to tell it. This has like a, almost like a pale blue kind of hue to her. Kind of like she did in the movie Generations. You can see it says 1992 Paramount on the bottom. So the molds are the same that they're using for the ship as they did for the original, but the plastic is a slightly different color, and the difference is that this one does not light up, but it does have the base. You can see the detail in the top, the speaker, the holes. Yeah, there's the opening on the top of the speaker. You push the only one button to push, really.
All decks red alert. Enemy vessel firing phasers. Red alert. All decks. Enemy vessel firing photon torpedoes. Enemy photon torpedoes sailing. Battle stations. Warning, enemy firing weapon.
So that pretty much is the Space Talk series, the Enterprise D. The whole purpose of this one was to have the commands, or the whole computer. Everything the computer would say, they kind of put it into a chip. They put 100 sound effects, and that's why it's random when you push the button. There's no lights or photon torpedoes. You can see all the other buttons were removed, and you can see the little filling pieces that they had put in to fill in on the mold. The detail is still pretty nice. And again, be kind, this was 1995. I think it looks great for 1995, considering this was the first. We really didn't have any other kind of a ship. There was no Diamond Select back then, so I think she looks really nice. You can see the detail, all of the windows, and like you guys saw in the introduction to this video with the fan home Build the Enterprise, she's got a lot of windows and a lot of escape pods. You can see the back of the ship.
Impulse drive sailing. Entering neutral zone. Enemies alert.
And the photon torpedoes, the phasers, and the red alerts, those are all the actual sounds, but the computer's voice is actually Marjorie Barrett. You remember her as Nurse Chapel in the original series, and she was actually married to Gene Roddenberry. Well, she does the voice for the computer for the U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701-D. So I think what I want to do is I'll take you off the tripod, and we'll do another sample of the sound effects, and I'll show you what she looks like going around. See if she makes it, if there's a difference with the light off for the color. So again, I like the writing on the base. That's how you can tell it's the Talk series release. And looking at the top of the ship, you can see all the windows, the escape pods. Going over to the top, you can see where the speaker openings are. And we've got the bridge, B and C decks. You guys can see there's Shuttle Bay number 1, Shuttle Bay 2, and Shuttle Bay 3. Let's see, they don't have the arboretum. The arboretum would be around here somewhere. You can see the battle section, or the dorsal hull. Coming into the side, you can see the impulse engines on the primary hull, and again, they don't light up.
Enemy vessel alert.
And this is a good shot of the closing off all the holes for the other buttons. Looking down to the aft end, you can see the back of the ship, the aft end, the backs of the nacelles. So I like it. I know there are people out there that are going to say, oh, you know, it's terrible and the sound effects, but like I said, you guys got to remember, this is from 1995. There was no such thing as Diamond Select, and if you wanted any kind of electronic Starship, this was it. And I actually think they did a pretty good job. Remember, they were kind of pioneers. So this was the Space Talk series of the Enterprise. So let's run through a few more sound effects and see if we hear anything different.
Engaging warp drive. Enemy vessel entering neutral zone. Firing photon torpedoes. Light systems secure. Warning, impulse drive failing. Firing photon torpedoes. Battle stations. Weapon systems failing. Enemy vessel, weapon systems failing. Engaging warp drive. Vessel, firing phasers.
So that, my friends, is the U.S.S. Enterprise, NCC-1701-D, from Star Trek The Next Generation, and this is the Space Talk series, the first issue of the ship that actually had the sound effects where the voice commands of the computer could be heard. And again, nothing lights up on this ship, so if you get one off eBay and you get it and nothing lights up, don't think there's anything wrong with it, because this one actually wasn't made with any of the lights, just the sounds of the voice. So my friends, I thank you so much for watching, and until my next video, I'll talk to you guys really soon.